Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. It's called to order for the E911 board. Please stand for the invocation. Oh, gracious Father, thank you for another year have gone by us, Lord. Lord, we ask that you please continue to give us the wisdom and the knowledge, oh Father, to sit in these chairs and Father and listen, oh Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. Follow me in the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any additions and deletions to the 911? Okay, if none, any guests and public comments? E911? Okay, if none. Item 1, guests and public comments received concerning funding of the various E911 communications for the proposed budget for 2025. Okay, any guests and public comments? Okay, down to new business. Number 2, approve the resolution adopting the operating budget revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2025 and ending December 31st, 2025.
So move.
I got a motion by Mr. Baker.
Second.
I got a second by Mr. Clark. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, please vote. Oh, I'm sorry.
Expecting someone to speak.
Well, we'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Clark?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Aye.
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 Ayes have it. Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries. Ayes have it. Motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second. Got a motion by Mr. Baker, seconded by Mr. Jones. Discussion? Okay, we'll adjourn from 911.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll roll right into the administrative committee, which will be the president report, none, council report.
None.
Any call for additions and deletions to the agenda, to the administrative agenda? None. Any guests and public comments? None. Okay, administrative item.
All right, administrative items. Approve the 2025 holiday schedule.
I'd like to make a motion, make an alternate motion to make a motion to include Friday on Christmas Day holiday.
Motion to what?
A motion to add Friday to the Christmas holiday. Right now you have Wednesday, Thursday. I'm making an alternate motion to add Friday for the Christmas holiday.
I second.
Okay, Mr. Jones, second. Roll call vote.
I like to make addition if possible.
Okay.
Easter Sunday for the compactor sites.
They're off anyway.
They're off anyway.
They're off.
Yeah, they all.
Logan Sports had to work.
Not after we
Easter. They
changed the
changed.
holiday schedule.
Yeah, they changed it in May of this year, so next year they will be off.
Right. Just making sure.
Looking out for you folks.
All right, there's no more discussion, please vote.
Are we approving the schedule to include, or are we gonna discuss the schedule moving forward?
We can discuss.
Well,
We're in discussion right now.
you're.
So we're in
yeah, you're
discussion for the
on
whole
the
schedule?
alternate motion.
Okay, I have something. We had a large complaint for the, Friday of after Thanksgiving for the compactor sites to be closed in Stonewall. Because when they opened back up, they filled up within half a day, and we had to turn people away from the compactor site. So, I don't think the compactor site should be closed on Black Friday or the Friday after Thanksgiving. Or at least the Stonewall one should be open, because our people didn't have anywhere to take their trash. I mean, Saturday had to be closed down half a day.
And why don't we make them adjustment just for Stonewall then?
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
We already have an alternate motion,
Yeah, waiting
Yeah,
on a
you're-
motion.
and it did not include that, so.
No.
Oh, you want to add that to your
Well,
motion?
well, I add that to the alternate motion.
Alter the motion that,
Well, I would recommend, we could probably just add this as an addition to the agenda, maybe at the next meeting, to add that, to have the compactor site open that particular day. You may not need to do it in conjunction with the holiday schedule.
Okay, true.
Is that okay?
That's fine with me.
That's probably the better way to handle it.
Okay.
So the alternate motion now is the original alternate motion, which was to add Friday to the Christmas holidays, to the 2025 holiday schedule.
is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
That was
That's
the alternate
The
motion,
motion was, okay.
to add Friday to the Christmas holidays on this 2025 holiday schedule as
Right,
proposed.
that was the original motion.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got one more question.
Yes, sir.
All Saints Day, that is actually on a Saturday, and it's not a federal holiday. So I know we celebrate this past year. Is that something that we need to look at, since it's not really a federal holiday? Does that need to be, just asking?
The prior schedule that y'all set up on the holidays was to follow the state, and that is when the state recognizes All Saints Day. That's why we put it on there as October 31st.
So they'll be off. If it's on Saturday, they just to be off, right?
No,
what
it's
you saying?
going to be recognized on Friday.
Okay.
Everything will be
That's
closed.
what I
Saturday will
was
be
saying.
open, the
Okay.
compactor sites and everything will still be open.
I was just getting confused
Yes,
when
ma'am.
you said it was on Saturday.
Any more discussion? If not, vote.
It's a Lathan.
My deal's not working. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I was using Miss Simpson's.
That's one way to get something. Vote for everybody.
Motion passed.
Motion passed. Item number 2, approve the 2025 meeting schedule.
So moved.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Who's second?
Mr. Clark.
Mr. Clark?
Yes, I see.
No discussion, vote.
Mr. Whalen.
Maybe it's you again.
That's out. No.
Aye, motion passed.
What do you mean?
Item number 4, approve the 2025 DeSoto Parish, I'm sorry. Item number 3, approve the 2025 liquor license renewal.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, vote.
Uh-oh, I'm sorry.
All right, motion passed. Item number 4, approve the 2025 DeSoto Parish Tourism Commission budget.
Motion?
Have one motion
Second.
and a second. Any discussion?
I did.
If not, vote. All right, motion passed. Item number 6. Number 5, appoint William Richardson Jr. to the Fire District 8 Board of Commissioners, serving a 2-year term.
So move.
Second.
Is he here?
No.
Any discussion? If not, vote.
Yeah.
It got to be you. He said you.
Mr. Bell and Mr. Jones.
Oh, we discussing.
Item number 6, authorize the administrator to sign an agreement with Acadian Total Security for fleet tracking devices.
So move.
Have a motion by Mr. Jones,
Second.
second by Mr. Fuller. Any discussion? Vote. All right, motion passed. Item number 7, adopt ordinance 3 of the 2024 for the solar farm standards, section 86 through 103. Is that 86 through 103 or 86-103?
86-103.
All right, general summary of the solar farm permit process.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second.
Question,
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Burrell.
why are we starting all the way, this like starting all the way back over for these people? Why this one done? We already approved everything for them. So why all these ordinance? What all these, we done got where we have an ordinance for picking up paper. This gonna be just like these people starting all over again, look like to me.
No.
This ain't gonna be no hardship on this. Anybody ask me if this gonna be a hardship on it? Cause I wanna know, cause I saw all this. I said, golly, what we need with all them ordinance.
Yes, ma'am, we had a meeting with them today, so there's no hardship on them.
Who made the motion? I'm sorry.
Mr. Fuller made the motion.
Who seconded?
Mr. Ross,
second.
I mean,
second then.
for real though, it's too many ordinance for too much stuff. Or everything is an ordinance. And I'm just wanting to know why. Cause it's harder to get rid of, change. If you want to change something, it's hard to change your ordinance. So I'm trying to see why everything being done in an ordinance. Everything we do now.
Well,
Yeah. Ordinance.
I can answer that question. As the legislative branch, y'all are the police, jury, parish governing authority. Y'all make the laws for the parish. These ordinances are being adopted to protect the parish, the constituents of the parish, from site protection issues, things like that you may have to deal with. If it keeps contractors honest, is what it does. And this is gonna keep the solar people honest. And they're here tonight, and, I mean, James has already said he'd be willing to speak on this issue, so this is not uncommon for parishes to adopt guidelines for the solar farms to follow. And these are the guidelines, standards that are set in other parishes as well. So, that's why.
I mean, yeah, I'll be saying other parish, this is soda parish.
Well, I mean, if the parish decides not to pass any guidance or laws on,
Where you say they here? Where they?
yeah, James is
Come
here.
on up, I wanna hear from you.
And this is, to be clear, this is not going through the pilot program that y'all have already approved. That was the pilot program. This is just setting standards on the construction and facility that they're putting in place.
So again, I just want to make clear, I wasn't hiding in the back. I had a meeting with the president, a couple of members, other people. I've read the ordinance. I did not propose the ordinance. I think it would be wrong, as I'm sure the parish police jury would agree, for us to self-regulate and come up with our own regulations. It would make no sense. So I know that, the parish attorney, parish engineer, parish administrator have all gone through and taken a look at these ordinances. We think they're fair. We understand the regulations that need to take place. I understand that there's a great deal of work has been going into them. I think you said, Mike, it's been about 6 months to a year you've been working on it. We have made considerable progress on the project. We are hoping to start construction on our project, I would say, in the next, I'd say 4 to 8 weeks. And we're hoping somewhere early in 2025, we would be looking to start construction and pulling a building permit. So that being said, we understand what goes into this process and what goes into really the standards of the project, right? So some of the things into the ordinance that are being contemplated are setbacks from other parcel boundaries, height standards, noise consideration, making sure we're not disturbing anybody else, appropriate lighting, fire protection, appropriate emergency systems, roadway and transportation analysis. Well, there's a whole bunch of other items that need to be considered here. I know that our project is already in process for submitting to you all of the required materials under this ordinance. So we want to be able to give you all the information that would be needed to answer any questions from your constituents, either during the construction or during the operation of the project. So, we're of understanding of it. But when it comes down to, I think the question that you were asking, Juror Burrell, which is, how many ordinances there are, I think that's a question, or the volume of ordinances, how this has been drafted. That's a question for Mike and for the parish attorney.
Okay, 'cause that look like a mighty lot of ordinance.
I saw it too. I said,
I
wow.
couldn't read all them ordinances.
Yeah, that's a lot of ordinances. I mean,
I
it's
was
all
like,
one ordinance in
golly.
separate sections, but you're preaching. I know it.
Huh? I mean, that was, I was trying to realize, the good Lord.
Ms. Burrell, if you'll, I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
The general overall arching theme of this is to protect your citizens from various issues that have arisen at very numerous places. For example, one of the provisions is setback. So to have the solar panel setback so far from roads, to have visual boundaries between places of worships and schools and occupied residents, because they're, one of the complaints that people have about visual impacts of the solar things, to try to address that. There's information in here about certain safety guidelines, about fire protections, about being constructed to withstand certain amounts of winds, and various things like that. So that's the main sort of gist of this, is to be able to provide visual protections and also protections for public safety concerns, such as the wind, the drainage, lighting, and emergency plans for first responders to know what's there and what they're getting into. So these are all well thought out issues that can present themselves. And so when you have a complex system like solar panels, there's a lot of issues to address. So this is the length of them, so everybody knows what the rules are essentially.
Yeah, I just wonder, 'cause I mean, like everything we do now, it's got an ordinance. If we have a trash dryer, it's got an ordinance. I just wanted to know if it was gonna cause y'all any kind of setbacks or anything, cause we had already approved this.
But no, yeah, I mean, the approval you had was for the pilot agreement. I can tell you that we are in process. We've had some preliminary design work already done on the project, but we're gonna be submitting some more advanced, call them a 30% design set. We're gonna call out all of the requirements under the ordinance, setbacks, height requirements, fencing requirements. We're gonna call it all out. And so you'll see the plans, they'll be submitted to you all for review. I think that, to the parish attorney's point, through our experience in, seeing other developers in other parishes and some of the projects that are being proposed, I think it's the right thing to do. Like, I understand, I think that if these projects are cited in a poor manner, they can do a number of things. They can, well, for one thing, if stormwater isn't managed appropriately, it can do damage. That's obviously not
I
good.
mean,
And so we need to make sure, and so there's permit processes that we have to go through with the state. We have to get our NIPD's permit and go through DNR and DEQ, make sure we have their approval, so we have that. And, we're working through all those processes to make sure it's all safe and good for the, site protection of our property, for the property of the parish and surrounding neighbors. Now, I can speak, and Mike and the parish engineer can back me up on this. The siting for the project that we have contemplated is in unincorporated land in DeSoto Parish, and we're not near any sort of residential, residential parcels. The only neighbors we have out there are well pads, and we're building over a reclaimed mine. So we're taking land that's otherwise defunct and would not be utilized. We're trying to make a purpose out of it. So we're I think pretty well sited here.
I mean, I'm asking that question because I know this is gonna do some good. I mean, when they lost that, coal thing down here, then I know they had to take a good little hit for Clico. I'm hoping this will help Clico
That's
come
the,
back and be able to lower their bills for the residents that's here in DeSoto Parish.
that's what we're trying to do.
So that's one concern I had, cause I don't want to get caught up, not happening. So I they did have some concerns about it. It's good for me to hear you say everything is a go.
Understood.
Okay.
We're on item number 7. I'd like to make an alternate motion that we adopt ordinance 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17.
Yeah, y'all see what I'm talking about?
Second.
Woo, Mr. North.
Any discussion? Got a motion and a second on the alternate motion.
Who seconded?
I did.
Mr. Ross seconded.
Any discussion? Discussion, right?
Just waiting on Jody. No discussion?
Oh, we gonna do this for everybody though, for real, cause there's some more business coming here. We didn't do all
So,
this.
so this ordinance will cover any future solar farms that, that may come to this parish, so.
Right.
I mean, I'm talking about we gonna do the ordinance for everybody, every other business that come in here.
Solar.
That depends if
I
they
ain't
not, we
said
don't have
this
a business in that.
ordinance.
It depends
I
on
said
what,
Depends on,
ordinance.
yeah, it depends on what you're talking about.
All of these
That's
are
existing,
But
solar.
if I don't know how to answer that,
If it's existing,
right?
or something, a business like something that's coming in that's already having an ordinance, then
Right.
that business would just fall up under that ordinance.
This parish has no zoning, and this essentially is a mini zoning for solar farms.
I'm just asking cause there's some things going on that need to have these same rules and guidelines to them. Like, I ain't gonna even say it. Y'all don't want me to say it.
Okay, no more discussion.
land fee.
Everybody vote, please. All right, motion passed. I have a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Have a motion. I'll second. Second. All in favor? Aye. Budget finance?
I call budget and finance to order. Call for any additions or deletions to the agenda. Hearing none, any guest or public comments? Hearing none, budget and finance item, authorize the president to sign a resolution authorizing the investment of excess cash on hand in short-term investments.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, sir. Explain that to me, Ms. North.
If we got a lot of cash sitting in the bank, we're gonna put it somewhere to invest it so it makes
Make
more
money.
money.
So, per the resolution, the treasurer will be authorized to make those investments and then give subsequent updates to the jury of how those invested.
Okay,
for
but we
excess
don't know
cash.
what investment being made, right?
Yes, ma'am. Per the resolution, parish treasurer does that, and then she makes an update, gives us an update on that. Yes.
I wanna know what you investing in.
Any other discussion? Please vote now. Motion passes. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We're adjourned.
Thank you. Insurance committee, please.
Insurance committee call to order. Call for additions or deletions. Guest public comment. Insurance items, number one. Approve the property and casualty insurance. This would be Travelers Insurance Company and Workers' Comp Insurance, Luba Indemnity Insurance.
Make motion.
And I'll second it. Any discussion?
Oh. Mr. Fuller on that committee?
No. I made motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Mr. Fuller said.
Okay.
Now it sound like Bubba to you.
It was far away, deep voice.
That was, Mr. Clark made the motion and I seconded it. We are gonna take a second stab at this insurance, get another quote in the first quarter. There's just so much that goes on with quoting the parish business. It just takes forever, so, we'll be looking at it. If it's better than what we got from Travelers, we'll present it, to the jury. More discussion? Vote. Motion passes. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
What's your name?
Thank you. Mr. Lathan, personnel committee, please.
Personnel committee call to order. Is there any additional deletions to the agenda? Any guests or public comments? Personnel item. Before I read these out, I wanna say, nothing on this agenda came through the personnel chair. I didn't know anything but one item. This last item I knew about. This other stuff, I was never contacted. Nobody told me. And I know stuff on this agenda. It's on here. I done got my agenda and I'm reading it. And to me, when I put something on the agenda, I ask him to call whoever the chair is to have these items put in. This will be about the 7th or 8th time something to come on this agenda. And me as chair wasn't aware of it until it's time for the meeting. That's very disrespectful to me.
Ms. Burrell, could I say something? I apologize for that one. I mean, you've been having some phone issues. I wish tonight that we can get that straightened out while Donna is here. And when I called you last week, that was one of the items I was gonna tell you about.
Who, you pay at my house 50, 100 times a day.
Yeah, but I don't have time to stop. I have to work. I mean, I shouldn't have to come to your house. I could call.
Okay.
One time before, I called Mr. Fuller. Would you please tell Ms. Burrell to call me?
what the bylaws say?
The bylaws say that me or Michael or Ms. Jordan could tell you.
Now, out of all three of y'all, look like somebody could say, Miss Brea, this is
Well,
how
they
it's
was-
gonna be presented.
But they was leaving that up to me. I apologize.
Okay, Rodriguez, you know I don't believe that now, don't you? I might would if this the first time, but just like I
But
said,
it's been
it's
my first time.
this the 7 or 8 times that I've been
Well-
totally ignored as personnel chair. And it is not right, it's not fair, and it's disrespectful, just like I said.
I only can vouch for this one. I don't know about the other ones.
No, I got them mandated. I can tell you every one of them and what agenda they was on and what it was. And I just couldn't go not one more time doing that without calling y'all's hand on that, cause that ain't right. Personnel item approved. The recommendation from the administrator and human resources to hire road superintendent.
So move.
A motion in a second?
Who second?
Nobody.
Yeah,
I'll second.
As I heard you make
Yeah.
the motion.
it was Mr. Raines and
Clark.
Mr. Clark.
He made the motion.
Mr. Clark made the motion, Mr. Raines second, right?
If it's okay with the jury, I'd like to
Ray.
read my letter of recommendation to the jury, if y'all indulge me. Please accept this letter as my official recommendation to hire Philip Clark as the new road superintendent starting at the set salary of $107,016 per year. I and the Human Resources Department have reviewed Mr. Clark's qualifications, which he more than meets. The recommendation is based upon his commanding knowledge of road construction, road maintenance, certifications, and his ability to manage multiple projects and people. Please see his following list of certifications, skills, and abilities. Mr. Clark brings over 30 years' experience in commercial residential contract work, including road building, road repair, road maintenance. Over 30 years of leadership experience, 18 years with the DeSoto Parish Police Jury. He's currently the Assistant Superintendent of the Road Department for the DeSoto Parish Police Jury. He's certified with FEMA Incident Command Systems and Homeland Security First Responder. He's FEMA Claims Coordinator for the Police Jury. He is the first and only DeSoto Parish, Louisiana Road Scholar with the completion of this certificate that included 13 classes over the period of 10 years. LTAP Intersection Basics, Safety and Operations Accessibility, LTAP Combating Rural Roadway Departures, American Traffic Safety Service Association Traffic Control Technician, Floodplain Management Association, Northwest Louisiana Safety Coalition, Parish Emergency Management Coalition Advisor, Hazardous Incident Investigator. If the jury agrees, Mr. Clark will assume the role of superintendent along with Mr. Woodley on March 3rd until Mr. Woodley's retirement on May 31st. Mr. Clark is here, and that's him in the front row. If you want to stand up, Philip. I know you all probably know him.
No, you did not insult
I
us
know
like
he
that.
Listen, he is eminently qualified for this position, and, you know, Miss Amy and I went over these qualifications, and he's the man for the job. So that's my recommendation to you as part of the succession plan that I'm supposed to build. So, yes, sir.
Who's the chair? You said he's the only one qualified. Did you, man, nothing against him. I love him to death. But did you, did you post this job?
No,
So how can you say he's the only one qualified?
no, I did not post the job because the job's not
So
open
how
yet.
can you, that's the point.
It's
You're trying to
my
build it now.
recommendation. It's my job to make a recommendation to
It's your
y'all,
job.
and
You
it's
got
y'all's
it on
job
the
to.
agenda for us to hire.
That's correct.
Okay, so,
Right.
so let's not play words. That's exactly what you meant.
I also did not post it for the next one on there as well.
And I understand. And so why didn't we post it, this job?
Why would I post it when you have a qualified person in-house? You always want to hire in-house before you go out.
It's not law. It's good to do that, but it's not. Is that our
Right,
policy?
it's.
Is that our policy?
No, your policy is to accept a recommendation or not from your administrator and the HR director. So
Okay,
that's,
look,
I'm following
look,
y'all's policy.
I'm not fighting against him. I appreciate his qualification and all that kind of stuff. But Mr. Nutt, the problem I have, like I say, a lot of this is being done, like I say, you're doing a lot of this. You go around, now, I'm just this word on the street. You go around asking people when they quitting, when they leaving, when they retire. You think that's appropriate if that's what you're doing?
If that's what I'm doing, yeah, certainly that wouldn't be appropriate, if that's what I'm doing.
Okay, yeah, but I was told by several that that's what you.
In the street committee's very verifiable source, right?
Okay.
I'm just
Oh,
saying,
yeah, now
Mr.
that
Fuller,
I vouch
Mr.
for,
Fuller,
yes, they
the
are.
street committee has me,
Sure is.
has me doing deals with people in back rooms, which I don't do.
I've heard that too.
Yeah, yeah.
But my thing is, like I said,
Evidently, I got some oceanfront property in Arizona as well, but
it's possible you might have.
according
that
to
too.
the street committee.
All that's possible.
Right.
But again, like I said, my thing is, like I say, I believe in giving everybody a fair shot. If he's the best qualified and you post a job, he gets it. I'm fine with it. That's me. But like I said, I know I'm not on this committee, but I still have a voice.
Certainly.
And I would love to see these, because, I mean, you hadn't posted for the assistant superintendent why haven't you filled that position? You had a person there, you said
Actually, it has been
Why we
posted.
hadn't filled that?
Because nobody's applied for it.
Yes, it did.
Did he apply for this?
Nobody has applied
Did
for
he
it that
apply
was
for this?
qualified. This is the
Did he
superintendent.
apply for this?
This is the superintendent position.
Ask you. I said, did he apply for this job?
Did he formally apply? No. He's my
Oh.
recommendation.
So we just do certain people with, okay, I'm good, I'm through with, that's all.
No, we didn't
I'm
do
through,
certain
I'm
people.
through.
Assistant superintendent let's talk about that. Over the landfill, assistant superintendent.
Yeah.
That employee who so desperately wanted that job has yet to apply for that job because he's not qualified for that job.
Point.
But this, you raised the issue.
But it's
I
one
stand on
that-
everything I said.
That employee did not apply for the job because he's not qualified for the job. You sat here, right here, and told him to apply for it. He did not do it.
I agree.
So I cannot
If you
force
listen what I
anybody
just
to
said,
take
Mr.
a job.
I didn't even bring up his name. I would just ask you, why isn't that position
I
filled?
haven't
You
brought up
filled
his
this,
name
why didn't you
either.
fill that position? That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm asking. I didn't say you had to fill it with that person, because we had that conversation, and I know exactly what he said, yeah.
As part of my job, it's my job to prepare a succession plan. And my job, I'm doing my job. So, and this is part of is to make a recommendation to this jury. That's my recommendation. Again, why would I go outside the agency to try to hire someone outside if you have someone who's eminently qualified within?
Well, let me ask you this. When does this salary start? When we hire him or after Mr. Woodley's gone?
Per the letter, March 3rd.
When Mr. Woodley retired?
May 31st.
See what I'm saying? I can't understand that. So,
But y'all have been doing that consistently since I've started. We did that with the superintendent over the landfill. We've done it with the parish treasurer. We've done it with the OCS director. We've done it with the parish
well,
engineer. So
shoulda not have been doing
I'm being consistent with the application of this body's policies. If y'all want to change that policy, put it on the agenda and get the 6 votes. That's it's simple as that. I'm doing my job, and y'all seem to be calling me out and questioning me on me doing my job. To me, I appreciate the questions, Mr. Fuller. I really do, because that keeps me on my toes to make sure I'm doing my job. That's what y'all hired me to do.
Okay, look, Miss, come on now. That's Miss Fuller, not this me. You know, you do a lot of stuff, Mr. Norton, that you want to do. You don't ask us, you don't respect, you do what you want to do, and then put it on this agenda and figure you gonna get the 6 votes, and voila. Let's be honest about it. Now, I didn't know. I wasn't aware that we paying people before the other person can retire, because that's not a good practice.
Well, Ms. Burrell, you voted on those prior ones.
No, I didn't know, like I say.
But that's not my job to make sure you
call for
know about all
question.
the details.
I had one more question. Oh,
Yes,
no,
sir.
had Mr. Woodley, has he announced his retirement?
Yes, sir, there's a letter in there.
He did? Oh.
Yes, from Mr. Woodley, and the
May.
subsequent one. There's a
In
letter
May.
in the packet from Mr. Woodley.
There's a letter in the package from Mr. Woodley, but yet we hiring somebody in December for Mr. Woodley retiring in May. That don't even look right. And you can say, y'all come up with this stuff to do what you wanna do.
Who's y'all?
You, well,
Y'all.
you.
It's
I
y'all's
take it-
policy, it's not my
it's
policy.
you come up with stuff,
got the
Mr.
question
Norton,
answered?
and tell me, well, this my job to do this and that to the other, when you know what you really honestly doing.
My job.
Okay,
I'm really honestly doing my job,
okay.
bro.
Here's announced it.
So,
Ms. Burrell, I think Ms. Simpson had.
I have a question. Mr. Norton, when Mr. Clark moves up, because you're saying your recommendation, who is under?
that position will have to be posted whenever Woodley retires officially. You talking about for the assistant superintendent position? We're gonna advertise for that job.
It got to be posted.
Now you got to be posted.
Oh, my
That-
God.
Okay, just check.
I would like to know why that one would be different from this one. I just want to know.
Because right now, I don't know who would be qualified for that position. I know he's qualified for superintendent, but I don't know who would be qualified for the assistant superintendent position.
Okay.
Yeah, from your recommendation.
From your
Yeah.
recommend,
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, come on, let's be honest about it.
just
Take the
curious.
landfill for the assistant landfill. Now, if somebody did apply for that job, but they didn't get it, why? That's one of the items on my thing that y'all didn't ask me about. Y'all just put it on the agenda.
I don't know
And
what you're
if
talking
it-
about.
Well, y'all wanted to change the job description. So y'all changed the job description, so the man that applied couldn't get it. Come, let's be honest about it now. Y'all know Miss Bread called a spade a spade. And y'all hadn't tried to fill it. He didn't get the job. Now we done lost that employee. Y'all, and I already know, I'm not gonna say in this open meeting what's going on, but trust me, we know.
He has to go to the full.
We understand.
Still gotta go to the full.
And that job there needs to be advertised and filled. It really do.
No.
Because when Philip,
Yes,
when he gone, somebody need to be in charge besides you, Mr. You the parish administrator. You shouldn't have to run the landfill.
Are we talking about the assistant superintendent over landfill?
Uh-huh. That's what we talking
The
about.
job is still posted.
Who?
I don't understand what your question is. The
He
job
was
is
just
still
on
posted.
vacation. Who was in charge?
She's chairwoman.
Oh, we can't.
No, I was on that committee.
Who was in charge? I rest my case.
Who's in charge of the
Yeah, I'd like to
landfill?
call for the question on this issue. Like, we talking about the road superintendent.
I don't know if he can even call the question. He's not on the committee.
He can.
He's the president.
Right, one of those is what I'm saying.
Well, I see some of them already vote, but please vote.
It has to come to the full jury vote.
Motion passed. Item 2, approve the recommendation from the Administrator and Human Resources to hire maintenance supervisor.
So move.
Superintendent.
Second.
And if it's okay with the committee, I'd like to introduce Norman. Honorable
We
jury
know
members, please accept this letter as my official recommendation to hire Norman Ellis as the new maintenance superintendent starting at $93,412 a year. I and the Human Resources Department have reviewed Mr. Ellis's qualifications, which he more than meets. The recommendation is based upon his commanding knowledge of the inner workings of all the jury building needs, the many years of experience he has with the jury as the assistant superintendent of maintenance, and his willingness to lead in this position. Please see the list of his following qualifications. Electrician's Diploma, Louisiana Technical College, January of 2004. Over 20 years' experience in commercial residential maintenance work, including with the DeSoto Parish Police Jury. Over 12 years of leadership experience with the DeSoto Parish Police Jury as the assistant superintendent over maintenance. Residential electrician's license, journeyman electrician's license, strong organizational and leadership skills, effective communication and problem-solving abilities, excellent management and coordinating skills. If the jury agrees, Mr. Ellis will assume the role of superintendent alongside Mr. Kevin Van Zant on March 3rd, up until Mr. Van Zant's retirement on May 1st. Thank you for your consideration. Norman is is out here too, if he would stand. So I'm sure everyone knows him, but he is more than qualified for this position. And for the record, I did not advertise this one either because, again, we have someone in-house who's qualified, eminently qualified, and that's why I did not advertise. But I did, it was coming to y'all as a recommendation.
Well, I just wanna say, I have no problem with Norma or Philip and their qualifications. I really don't. It's the total fact, I just feel like these people should have been allowed to leave. They done gave all these years to y'all. At least give them the respect to retire before you hire. And I'm sorry, that's how I feel.
Oh, well,
And
there's
we
a
shouldn't be
retirement
paying
letter
these
from Mr.
people.
Van Zandt in here as well.
It don't make no difference when his retiring letter, it's when the day he say he gonna retire. We shouldn't start paying people before these people allowed to retire. Give these people that much respect, let them retire. That's where the problem comes. I have no problem with Philip or Norma getting hired. I do agree with you. They are qualified and we should hire in-house first. But still, let these people retire. Yeah, I mean, they might not say they feel that way, but I know they got to make them feel some kind of way, Mr. Norton. I know it do. That would kill me. I done gave all my whole life to the police here, and then they do that.
What'd he say?
So you said let them retire before they hire?
Yeah, they could have let them retire.
But you mean let them leave before they hire them?
Now, I'm saying, let these people retire. They could came back in April.
Because sometimes, you know, someone coming on, somebody gotta show them the ropes.
As long
Somebody
as
have
they
to
been
show
here, they
them
all
the
know
job.
the ropes.
You got to transition.
No, you gotta show them the ropes. You got to-
They know the ropes.
I mean, there's an electric box there, everybody knows electric box, but they gotta know what their electric box is running.
Or Neil. True,
I mean-
they know the ropes.
Well, okay. Okay.
Like I say, that, I mean, Miss Norton wanna do it, he want nobody to hire nobody.
Can we finish the vote?
We talking about this December, this ain't like this, this ain't like it's in March. If we'd have did it in March, it would have been better. We should be.
We are doing it.
Now, I'm just saying if this would have been brought up in March.
It's gotta be voted on.
So, you just voting tonight in December.
It's gotta be voted on to get him in there in March. What's the point? What's your point?
Don't go there with me.
Waiting on a
Just
vote.
wasting our time.
Really,
Waiting on a vote.
Yeah, one remaining.
Oh,
Like I said, total disrespect. Motion passes. Motion to adjourn.
No.
We have one more.
One
Oh,
more.
that's right, I forgot that. Now, that's the one that they did tell me about. Accept the job description and salary for the nuisance abatement officer.
So moved.
Ready for question? If none, please vote. Motion passes. Motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Policies and Procedure Committee, please.
Policy and Procedure Committee called to order. Any call for additions or deletions? Any guest or public comments? Item number 1, update the voting time policy to include the prohibited political activity.
Make a motion.
Got a motion, get a second?
Wait
wait
a
on
second.
Waiting on
Yeah,
second.
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 All right, any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Motion passes. Motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second. I'll second. We're adjourned.
Thank you. Road item.
Road committee will come to order. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? Hearing none, are there any guests or public comments for the road committee? Seeing none, we're moving on to item 1. Accept Ridge Drive, Justice Street, Popsy Lane, Gilbert Drive into the parish road system as recommended by the Planning Commission, Mary Oaks Plantation Units 2 and 3.
So moved.
Got a motion? I'll second. Any discussion?
Yes, sir. Why are we taking in all these roads? I mean, these streets, I thought we was gonna take in no more roads. We can't fix in the roads we got. And we gon'
Yeah.
we gonna take in all these roads. And we got people on roads can't even hardly get in and out their house. Where it's just so dusty, they can't even go outside and cook. If they wanted to, sit out with their families and stuff. We taking in these roads, but I got a whole slew of roads that need attention. Why are we taking in these roads? And I don't care if the planning commission do it. Now, Philip on this planning commission, if I'm not mistaken, he the chair. But he also just getting hired as the road superintendent. So that kind of look like a conflict of interest to me somewhere.
But just to speak on why we're taking in the roads, that this subdivision has gone through the full subdivision regulation where we've reviewed the plat and the construction documents and reviewed and finished through the final acceptance, final approval process. And after that process, we recommend as a planning commission to bring it before the jury for final acceptance into the road system. And that's the stage we're at right now. All the documents have been received for the bonds and all the process has been completed for the inspections and so forth. And now we're bringing as a final step to the jury to bring those roads related to that subdivision into the parish road maintenance system.
So let me ask you this. If they started building up there, we gonna just constantly take in all these roads. Cause sooner or later, some got to give.
Yes,
'Cause
ma'am.
We take in new roads that y'all want us to maintain, but yet you're not fixing the roads that's out here that need it.
Currently, the way our subdivision regulation, any subdivision that we approve and it's built within our regulations and has a satisfactory inspection and everything's to standard, and we would recommend that for acceptance at the end of that, once we finish final approval of that subdivision.
So that don't mean we got to accept them. We can't afford to keep taking in all these roads. I'm telling y'all.
I think it is, the jury is obligated unless they have a deficiency that they can point out in the process. I think it would be an obligation of the jury to move forward with acceptance.
Is that true?
You say it's an obligation.
Unless you have a deficiency of something that was not followed in the regulation or something, or subdivision regulation or subdivision ordinance, as long as all the process was followed, I would think we're obligated by that ordinance to follow through with this process.
Yeah, the ordinance that we put in place.
Right. The jury has an ordinance for subdivision
You got a question?
adoptance and so forth.
I guess my thing was, I remember was doing it, putting all, because I remember I had some errors in when I first came on the jury, that those were some of the issues that people built subdivision and they didn't do the roads. But did we say in our order that we had to take them in once we said that we were gonna protect the people and make sure they fix them up to standard, but we didn't say we were gonna have to take them in. Now, that's what I remember now. I could be wrong.
In my personal opinion, private roads are a future problem that we're just kicking down the road. most roads that we leave private are eventually gonna be asked for us to take in 20 years from now. You know, they're gonna become a maintenance issue. Homeowner association is gonna defunct. The oil and gas road that it was built on or whatever is gonna go away, and we'll eventually be asked to take it in. So I think it's good that we have this process in place to inspect it, to see it through the process and take it in at that time. While it's still, we don't wanna take it in after it's already fallen apart in disrepair. We wanna accept the road while it's still in good shape and, you know, and don't need an immediate attention, but. I agree. We don't need any more miles of road, but this is part of the growth of through the subdivision process, you know, through the residential development that we have in the
I
area.
mean, everybody development, everybody up there making millions. They making money. They started building houses. Then we started taking in the roads. But then when all is built and said and done and the money being made, we stuck with these roads. Let's just be honest about it. We stuck with these roads. How many, do you really realize how many roads we done took in?
Taxpayers live on those roads,
And,
so you're not for the people. Call a spade when you see one.
well, yeah, you right. Call a spade a spade.
Hold on, come on. We're gonna call the order, call the meeting back to order.
Cause
Comments,
Yeah.
you know, raise your hand.
On these roads, okay, what is the life expectancy on these roads that you're asking us to take in? If we didn't take them in, what is the life expectancy on the way they were built?
I think these subdivision roads, I don't think it'd be unreasonable to expect 20 years, you know, considering they don't have truck traffic.
Okay,
and so
20 years, so
forth.
why we need to take them in? They can make 20 years.
Yeah. You know, 15 to 20 years, I think would be reasonable with, since they're not through roads that don't have truck traffic, you know, on.
Gotcha. Thank you.
I have one question. It's Mary Oaks Plantation Units 2 and 3. How many houses have been built in those subdivisions so far?
I rode through it today. I do not have that exact number, but they are actively constructing homes at this time.
Because I thought we had a policy that they had to be at least 75% filled or finished with the subdivision.
That is.
Before we accepted the road, and the road at that time had to be inspected, not when it's built. It gets inspected when it's built to make sure it's built right, but after they do all their construction in that subdivision, majority of it, 75%, then we would accept the road. And I thought that's the way it was. We don't accept them right off the bat and then let the cement trucks, dirt trucks, contractors go in there and tear them up while they're developing the subdivision.
And we do have a 2-year warranty period, that we have a bond that's received
The
and a
2-year
2-year
warranty
warranty
should
period.
take effect after at least 75% of the subdivision is filled and built and sold.
That has been something that's discussed in the planning
It
commission
has
meetings
been
and
discussed
developing.
right here.
And I know with the planning commission, I hadn't discussed it with the jury, but that's not currently in the regulation. That's something that's been discussed about
We need to put that in the
adding it.
regulation, because we shouldn't be accepting roads and as soon as the subdivision is built, and then let them tear them up while they're constructing the homes and accepting it then. And our 2-year period starts in, no. It should start after the roads are, the subdivision is at least 75% built. And then they fix them. They make sure they're up to our standard and fixed, and then our 2-year period should begin.
We hope, as the planning commission hopes to bring a new subdivision regulation early next year, and those will be things we can
That
discuss
needs
at
to
that
be
time.
on there.
Yes, sir.
So let's put this off until we find out how many homes are in there and get that set in the planning commission, and then we accept the road. I think that's what we need to do.
If we pass a new regulation, I don't know if we can make this subdivision retroactive to the new one, but Ms. McKay might can weigh in on that one.
Well, I think we can.
Okay.
Well, I don't think it's fair changing the game in the middle of the game. You've given these developers a set of rules to play by, and they've done everything they can do to build a subdivision to the rules in which we gave them to play by. You can't change the rules in the middle of a multi-million-dollar investment. That's not fair. I don't mind changing the rules. I don't mind the 75% completion or whatever that we want in the subdivision. I don't mind all that. I don't mind all the changes. But these people have already invested their money under a set of rules, that we gave them to play by. If we're gonna change the rules, we got to tell them we're gonna change the rules and say on this date, it's a new rule book and it starts on this date. That's how it needs to be done if we're gonna change them. If we're not, if we haven't changed them, you have to abide by the rules we have now, except the subdivision. They're in my area. That doesn't play one way or the other, because quite frankly, I don't want them to build any subdivisions anywhere. Because I'm tired of this so-called quote-unquote growth and how good it is for the parish. I don't believe that. It's a lie. It's the
Yep,
biggest
it is.
fictitious lie they brought in here to us. But the developer has spent his money. He has played by our rules. We should respect our rules and approve the roads. That's all there is to it.
I just wanna say.
I understand what you're saying too, Mr. Baker, and I agree with you. Don't change the rules in the middle of the game. But it sounds like we're sitting here waiting on someone else to make the rules, the planning commission to do it. Undoubtedly, the planning commission hasn't done it, so maybe we need to do something or get the
I would
ball
agree. If
rolling,
somebody were
because
expecting to
I would
change it,
think
you know,
that if
let's
it's
change
something
them
has been
ourselves.
discussed by the planning commission, it should be passed by the planning commission. You know, it needs to be rolling. Let's don't sit here and say we're thinking about it first of next year, you know?
Hey, Mr. Fuller,
Mr. Baker, you mind if I address you with that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Mr.
I guess my question is, did we say that we would take them in if they got them up to standard? Or we say they had to get them up to standard?
I believe we have always agreed for them to be able to bring the roads in if they are to our standard. The engineering report states that it's to our standard. It states that he's given us a 2-year warranty on the roads. I know the subdivision, I've driven through the subdivision, pretty damn good-looking subdivision. The roads are built right, the ditches are built, it's the first one I've seen yet that the ditches are built right. I mean, that sucker ain't gonna have no water standing nowhere in it. But anyway, the engineer has said it is right. That's what we pay him for. So I trust our engineer who said that the engineer is built to our standards.
I agree. I have no problem, but I guess my question again is that what we said we were going to, they automatically take them in if they got them up to standard? No,
I believe we have said that in the past.
I think we said that.
I don't think we
That's
said
why
that.
they bring
Because
them up.
the reason I'm saying, because that's why I brought, when I, like I said, when I first came on the jury, up there, Cody Lane, all those areas up there, that's what a lot of people ask me about, these subdivisions, these developers building subdivisions, and they weren't putting the road up to standard. And so then they want us to take them in. So that's why we got this in place where the planning commission, the people, the subdivision builders had to get them up to standard. But I don't recall, if you can show me that in writing saying that we said once they get them up to standard, we would take them in, I don't recall that.
The way it
If you can
reads,
find that in the minutes, I'll support it.
the regulation that's adopted states that if you follow the process and you build it per our standard, we will take the road in. I mean, we bring it to recommendation to the jury, and in my personal opinion, and I guess engineering opinion, that means that unless you find a deficiency or something that was done incorrectly, then we really don't have a choice. It's a formality. We're going through the checklist and making sure all the rules were followed, and then we'll say yes unless we find a spot in that checklist that was not followed.
Well, let's go to this gentleman.
What's in the ordinance?
Yeah, no, you want to speak on this?
I will.
Guys, most of you know me. I'm the developer of the north part of the parish from Bradley to Cloverdale. I am the developer of Mary Oaks. I've been doing this for 27 years. Never had an issue with any of the roads being brought in the parish or the town. We try to bring them up to specs to what we get from the parish or the town. I put in a lot of roads in the north part of the parish, some good, some not so good, you know, but nobody's perfect. Mr. Baker can tell you that. But I can just tell you right now that I will follow whatever rules you put in place, but I need a set of rules, okay? And I've got a set of rules that I'm playing with now. I'll abide by everything that they say. The 70%, back when I did, Old Hickory, that's where it was. We did 70%, and we turned it over to the parish. Well, since then, it's been back and forth here and there. Well, we got a set of rules, so-called rules now that we use, because we get them from the parish. So we abide by that. My engineer gets with y'all's engineer, and they hash everything out. We do what your engineer tells our engineer to do. So what I'm saying is, you know, it's a good road. Come up there and look at it. If you're not satisfied with it, I understand. But Mr. Baker's right. It's probably one of the better ones we put in, you know. But we do soil cement, 22 foot wide, 16 inches deep. That's for the soil cement. And then we do asphalt, 2 inches thick, 20 foot wide. And I've got one in the town, Shady Lake, it's 23 or 24 years old, and they've just overlaid it, last year?
About a year ago.
Yeah, so, you know, I understand some of the problems we're having with some of the roads, but I'm not a kind of guy that goes out and builds on the oil field road and call it a subdivision road. Okay, so I have the same, I mean, I'm having the same problem because I'm fighting y'all to put my roads into the parish that's done by the restrictions and the rules that you give me. So, you know, that's all I can say. I mean, I think that if you get the rules straight for everybody and everybody stay on the same playing field, I think everybody will be fine. Because I live in the community, and I don't want somebody to come down to my house knocking on the door and say, hey, your road's falling in. And talking about the money, Miss Braille, I'm a developer, okay? My money comes in, it comes in at the end of a 10-year program. If my program's 10 years and I spend $14 million getting to there, it's a lot of money. Okay, so we're a business also that people kind of overlook now because everybody wants to talk about what the roads are doing, okay? So we bring people to the community, they spending their tax money, we're building things, and I mean, it's just, it all goes hand in hand. But yet, some of the builders, some of the developers in DeSoto Parish just do not do what they're supposed to do. And I would testify, I'm just telling you, I'm making sure that we do ours right. You know, so.
All right.
And I'm just saying, I'm not saying you're not, but like I said, I just want to make sure that's something if we said it in writing, if we said that's what we're gonna do, I have no problem in supporting that. And I appreciate you doing the roads up to standard. But that's my only concern if we said we had to do it, because I don't remember saying that. If they can prove that to me between here and next Monday, like this coming Monday, next Monday, you have my support.
Well, you know, and I hope that works out because, you know, like I said, if I could get one set of rules that fits everybody.
I got you.
Everybody.
I agree with you.
I agree with whatever y'all want to do.
Okay,
Mr. Holmes, but I just want to say, Mr. Holmes is right. And that's what I hate about the way we do stuff now, like we used to go back to them minutes, because it wasn't enough for me to go back and find them. He right. That's exactly what we put in place. Now, when it got changed, I don't know. But that is what we put in place with the 75%. And it did not say that we specifically discussed this in a workshop in detail about this. And I got to agree with Mr. Holmes 100% because he exactly right. And you wasn't even here, Mr. You wasn't here when this was put in place.
I was asking if you knew the percentage.
So I suggest from now on, when these rules and regulations get to changing, y'all better start reading them. Because there's some stuff getting changed. If it's something different than what Mr. Holmes said, then something got changed somewhere. And we voted on it and didn't know.
Mr. Perez, you know, the 70% was back when Steve Brown was here. You know, this is, me and Steve talked about doing some restrictions, it just never did get done. Well, now, Michael is wanting to get some restrictions done, and I think it'd be better for the parish for him to come up with a set of regulations that everybody can abide by. You know, it's just simple as that. You got them in black and white, you follow the rules.
We have them in black and white, and if we go back and check them minutes, I can find
He's gonna
it
bring
too.
them up to you, and
It was
yes, you're right.
75%, just like Mr. Holmes said. We passed that, 75%.
But I'll sit here tonight and say, I don't know if I agree with 75%.
Well,
And
it
then
was.
two years, hold the road another 2 years, because that makes me 100%. Okay?
I'm just telling you what was passed, and
Yeah,
if something got
right.
changed, it got changed with us not being aware that it was changed.
Okay, we,
I've been working on this subdivision for 2.5 years, so it's been changed a while.
okay. Thank you. We're gonna move on. Any other questions? Short questions? Okay, hearing none. Please vote. Okay, motion passes. Item 2, authorize the road department to install a culvert on 469-4 Highway 1510.
Yes, this is my, go ahead.
Motion by Mr. Fuller,
Second.
second by, you knew you can't. Second by Johnson. No.
Yeah, I put this on there. It's on the 510. It's in Evelyn. South of 49, first road on the right. Like going to Coshada, first road on the right. That's 510.
It's on Louisiana 510.
Yes.
Well, y'all voted before
Right.
trying to put some gravel around the culvert for me on Louisiana 171, and you turned it down
Correct.
because it was on a state highway.
We voted down several because of the
Right.
state highways, and I think we need to stick to our policy of not doing roads on state highways.
Well, you did some though already. We can't do it. Some of them did something different from other people. We did, then we got some roads that's on the state, it comes out to a state highway, but it's our road. We got one on 175, 171 up there right now where it's been 4 accidents. And 2 of them some serious little accidents. Where the road might be from here to you can't even hardly turn. I'd have been up there to check it out. You can't even turn in there hardly. And on 171, you trying to turn in that little driveway right there at Kickapoo. It's right there when you pass through Kickapoo. That little old bitty road, what's the name, Henderson Lane. It's been some accidents there. And that's our road, but the curve might be this big. And the road it ain't wide enough to get a whole car in. Roads like that, we need to take care of.
I think you're talking about a road that actually is a parish road, though.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's a
we're
parish
responsible
road.
for those culverts. Aren't we responsible for our culverts that come on and enter onto a state highway, Michael?
Absolutely.
But I've been asking for it to get fixed, ain't
But this
nothing
is a
happened
private
yet.
road. You're talking about a private driveway here. It's a lot of difference there.
Mr. Fuller?
Yes.
I have a question. I understand like our roads, that come like I have one, Forest Lane comes on the highway. Right down the street from it, I mean, the water, you know the one I'm talking about, Mr. White, on 3015. I mean, we have an issue with the water terribly, but I mean, these are our constituents. And I don't know why we keep on Parish Road, State Road. You already know the state's not gonna do anything. They will, they'll give you permission to change it. So I'm trying to say, these are our constituents. Why are we so bent on not helping them? That's what I don't understand. Why are we so bent on not helping them? What does the cover cost? $600-700? $750? Why are we so bent out of shape for not helping our constituents?
Yeah, but we still taking new road.
I don't understand it.
Well, and actually, this gentleman already have his cover. He just need the material on it.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand it.
But I mean, hey, the jury do is to it, whatever they decide.
We change our covers on, in our constituent driveways if it's not on the state road. What's the difference? It's your fault for you living on the state road? Come on, y'all.
Okay, we're gonna move on. Any other discussion? Hopefully not. Hearing none, please vote. Motion passes. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Been moved,
Rain.
been moved by Raines, second by myself. All in favor of the motion, say aye. We are adjourned. We are adjourned.
Everybody hold your seat if you would. We have a special meeting. We'll roll right into special meeting called to order. Are any guests in public comments to the special meeting? Being none, any additions and deletions to the special meeting? Being none, new business. Item 1. Amend the 2025 general budget in the amount of $5,000 for the crew of demeanor. This is one of the Mardi Gras
So moved.
deals here.
So moved.
Got a motion by Mr. Justin.
So Mr.
Second,
Fuller.
Mr. Fuller, seconded. Discussion? There's no discussion, please vote. This is for the full jury. One remaining. Ms. Burrell?
I'm praying.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
So you praying?
Be
I
quiet.
am. I'm praying, cause disapproving our budget thing, right? And I'm just sorry, but it's just part of me. There's some stuff in the budget that I do not agree with.
Budget's the third item.
But in order to get some things
No,
passed,
this is
you
not.
can,
This isn't the budget.
No, this is
item
just,
one.
this is just for the crew.
I'm gonna have to abstain from this one, cause it
Yes,
just,
ma'am.
We need that.
Motion passes.
yeah, I do, cause I don't,
Item 2, amend the 2025 general budget in the amount of $33,000 for a multicultural center.
So move.
I have a motion by Mrs. Simpson. Second. Any discussion? There's no discussion, please vote. Item 2. Motion passes. Item 3, approve the proposed 2025 operating and capital budget.
So moved.
Got a motion by Mr. Fuller,
Should I put as amended for there?
Yes, ma'am, you do have to put that.
Mr. Fuller,
Second.
Mr. Jones, second.
Whole budget here.
Discussion?
How much is our total now, Miss,
We'll have to add those two in.
on all of
Into our-
our, fun-loving stuff? I'd almost be willing to vote for culverts if we did away with this kind of thing.
It's just gonna change your general budget fund on the, community development from 1 million. 12 That brings up that to 1,040,712. And then your projected fund balance of that comes down to 434.
$11,396,852. And this affected only the general fund. These amendments that y'all just passed.
Our ending balance is what, 11 million what?
No,
Hold on, I just took it off my calculator.
11,396,852.
11,396,852. You remember?
I'm a daddy's girl. I'm a numbers girl.
And that's a ending how much below beginning?
Well, we'll have a deficit, or not a deficit, a decrease in the fund balance of 1,456,001. So let me. $1,488,601. It's your decrease in fund balance.
If there's no more discussion, please vote. Motion passes. Item number 4, approve the resolution authorizing the DeSoto Parish Police Jury to submit the LCDBG grant application for funding the Bird Street commit local funds if granted is approved in 2025 by amending the 2025 budget, recognizing the revenues and expenditures if when the grant is awarded. Dove, Quail, and Whippoorwill Streets.
So move.
I got a motion by Mr. Baker, second by Mr. Lathan and Mr. Raines.
This is 3 streets
Discussion.
that we got a grant to do 3 years ago. And we screwed up taking the grant to the newspaper. And it didn't get published in time for us to get the money. Now, the people who don't give us the money are now willing to give us the money if we apply for the grant. So that's what it is. Huh?
Yeah, that's
Well,
back
now
when
we
the
gotta keep
newspaper
using it.
wasn't
I-
working with
That's
it.
what happened.
Please.
So what?
Repeat that.
I can talk a little different to Jerry than I can to all y'all, okay?
Oh, okay.
You good? Just messing with you.
Oh, well, yeah, give them the grant money. Yeah.
There's no more discussion, please vote. Motion passes. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Got a motion by everybody. All in favor, say aye. Aye. We'll adjourn. Good night, everyone.
They get me, Bill. When I first got on the police jury, we paved those streets 16 years ago. Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
That's been so long. But we always call it the bird grove. Because all names after